Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking, and I'm looking at a book today from Derek Wheatley. He opened his literary innings with The Silent Lady, which is this book here, and we're now looking at the second book he's written recently, Brief Encounters, subtitled Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. There are 5 short stories in this book, and this is it, nice green cover, a little bit of blurb on the back. You can see the book itself. It's about 150 pages. And you can see from it there's a lot of narrative and various other bits. That's an example of one of the stories, the verbal. The 5 stories are Silence in Court, The Terrible Turk, The Verbal, that one I've just shown you in the middle, Demonstrably True, and Stranger on the Beach. Now, my wife Elizabeth and I have written a review about this book, and we've given it the title The Way We Were, Memories of the Post-War English Bar, and that's exactly what this is. It's some of Derek's views about his old cases, and it brings back a bit of nostalgia of what happened some years ago. Let me say this about it though. Derek Wheatley's new book consists of 5 short stories, as I've said, each tale as much a memoir as a narrative. Each, except for the final story, is based on a criminal trial in which the author acted as counsel for the defence at the beginning of his career over half a century ago. We're talking about the same era approximately as Rumpole of the Bailey, although of course Horace Rumpole is fiction, and Derek's book, fiction though it is based on actual cases. Brief Encounters really tells it like it is at the Old Bailey, or rather like it really was at the Old Bailey in the 50s and 60s. The names of the protagonists as well as antagonists have been changed, obviously, to protect their identities and spare their blushes. The reader is left with the impression that but for skilled advocacy they would all have been judged guilty as charged. Some wonderful stories. Take the one of Romeo and Juliet style feud in North London, which centres on a romance between Ismet, a Turkish Cypriot, and, would you believe, Julieta, a Greek Cypriot. My only love sprung from my only hate, observes the author, quoting Shakespeare, and adding that Ismet was probably not very strong on Shakespeare. Press on, dear reader, for a number of pages and you'll find out that the enmity between these 2 ethnicities ends with an attempted murder via a 12-bore shotgun. The victim is not seriously injured, but it all ends up at the Central Criminal Court, the Old Bailey, in Court Number 1, reputedly a special court reserved for the crimes most heinous, as Poirot would say. This is all quite a coup for young barrister Tam Pearce, the main autobiographical character in this, and the next 3 stories, which intriguingly are chock full of atmospheric description and 60s nostalgia, the sort of minute but pertinent detail you might predictably find in a witness statement. A trial by jury is certainly war for the counsel taking part in it, observes Tam, who in this case was so convincing to the jury that his Turkish Cypriot client got off. As is often typical in these situations, Tam is less triumphant than bemused, with some lingering doubts as to whether justice was really done. The last story in the collection is of a slightly different ilk. Here a new barristerial character called Lumsden has an illicit fling on holiday in Santiago de Compostela, which with an aristocratic beauty who prefers to remain anonymous, thank you. But who is this lovely lady whose first language is not English, who refers to herself as a keeped woman? Lumsden finds out only when he peruses the Jennifer's Diary section of Harper's and Queen magazine. He's by no means a regular reader of this fashion and society mag, you understand. He merely picks it up at the dentist's office, and in doing so makes a surprise discovery which we will leave you to guess at. And if you're old enough to remember Jennifer's Diary in the days when Harper's Bazaar was called Harper's and Queen, you will certainly enjoy this book. If you aren't, you'll find yourself intrigued anyway by this almost quasi-Victorian mixture of, as T.S. Eliot would have put it, memory and desire. So let me conclude by saying this curiosity of a book should be much enjoyed by courtroom drama buffs, and certainly those members of London's close-knit legal fraternity who are happy to immerse themselves in the atmosphere of legal London in a bygone age. So thank you, Derek, for this late harvest. It's been great, and really is a good read. Do get it. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.